Hello everyone, and welcome back to English is Very Easy, the channel where learning English becomes simple and fun. I'm Jack.
And I'm Emma. Hey there, wonderful learners. It's so great to have you here with us today. How are you feeling, Jack?
I'm feeling fantastic, Emma. I'm really excited because today we have an amazing topic that so many people ask us about. This is going to help a lot of learners.
Oh yes, I can't wait to dive into this. But before we start, we have a quick favor to ask all of you listening right now.
And that's right. If you enjoy our podcast and you want to improve your English with us, please hit that subscribe button on English is Very Easy. It really helps us grow and reach more learners like you.
And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are learning English too. We want to help as many people as possible speak English confidently.
Exactly. We're here to make English easy for everyone. So, Emma, are you ready to talk about today's topic?
I am so ready. Today, we're talking about something that almost every English learner struggles with. We're going to talk about how to stop translating in your head and start thinking directly in English.
This is such an important topic because so many learners tell me, Jack, I understand English. I know grammar, I know vocabulary, but when I try to speak, my brain translates everything from my language first, and it feels so slow and exhausting.
Yes, that translation process makes speaking feel like hard work instead of natural conversation. And today, we're going to show you exactly how to change that.
So, whether you're listening while cooking, walking, commuting, or just relaxing at home, this episode is going to give you practical steps you can use right away.
And don't worry, we're going to keep this friendly and easy to understand. No complicated theory, just real advice that actually works.
Perfect. Now, Emma, let me ask you something. When you were learning English, did you translate in your head?
Oh, absolutely. I remember at the beginning, every single sentence I wanted to say, I would first think it in my native language, then try to find the English words one by one.
Exactly. And that's completely normal. In fact, I want to say this very clearly to everyone listening right now. If you translate in your head, you are not doing anything wrong. You're not a bad learner. This is a natural stage that almost everyone goes through.
That's so important to hear. Many learners feel embarrassed about this, but it's actually a sign that your brain is working hard to learn a new language.
Exactly. But here's the thing. While translation is normal at the beginning, if it becomes your main strategy for speaking, it creates some problems.
Right. So let's talk about what actually happens in your brain when you translate. Jack, can you explain this?
Sure. When you translate, your brain is doing two jobs instead of one. First, you think of the idea in your native language, then you search for the English words to express that idea.
So it's like taking the long route instead of the direct route.
Perfect analogy. And that extra step takes time and mental energy. That's why your speaking feels slow, hesitant, and sometimes exhausting.
I remember feeling so tired after speaking English for just 10 minutes because my brain was working so hard translating everything.
Me too. And the worst part is, when you're translating, you're often behind in the conversation. Someone asks you a question, and while you're translating your answer, the conversation has already moved on.
Oh, that's so frustrating. You finally figure out what you want to say, but the moment has already passed.
Exactly. So the question everyone wants to know is, how do we stop translating and start thinking in English naturally?
Well, first, I think we need to understand what thinking in English really means, because some learners have the wrong idea about this.
That's a great point. Emma, what do you think thinking in English means? They found that fluent speakers have something called automatic word retrieval. That's a fancy way of saying their brains can find English words quickly without effort.
So it's not that fluent speakers are smarter or know more words.
Exactly. It's not about intelligence or vocabulary size. It's about how fast your brain can access the words you already know.
That's actually really encouraging. So I don't need to learn thousands of new words, I just need to train my brain to access the words I already know more quickly.
Exactly right. And that's what we're going to help you do today. We're going to share practical techniques that train your brain for automatic access.
Perfect. So what's the first technique?
The first technique is something I personally used when I was learning, and it changed everything for me. It's called learning in chunks, not words.
Learning in chunks. What does that mean?
It means instead of learning individual words, you learn groups of words that naturally go together. We call these collocations.
Oh, like make a decision instead of just learning make and decision separately.
Perfect example. In English, we say make a decision, not do a decision. When you learn this as a chunk, your brain doesn't have to think about which verb to use. It just knows make a decision automatically.
So it's like learning ready-made phrases that you can use immediately without building them word by word.
Exactly. Let me give you some more examples. We say heavy rain, not big rain. We say strong coffee, not powerful coffee. We say take responsibility, not get responsibility.
I see. So when you learn these combinations, your brain can produce them quickly without translating.
Yes. And here's why this works so well. When you translate, you often choose the wrong combinations because you're thinking word by word. But when you learn chunks, you speak naturally like a native speaker.
That makes so much sense. So how can our listeners practice this?
Start by noticing word combinations when you read or listen to English. When you see phrases like pay attention, catch a cold, miss the point, write them down as complete phrases, not separate words.
And I guess you should practice these phrases out loud, not just read them.
Absolutely. Your mouth needs to practice saying these chunks so they become automatic. Say them 5 times, 10 times until they feel natural.
I love this. What's the second technique?
The second technique is called shadowing, and this is one of the most powerful methods for training your brain to think in English.
Shadowing? I've heard of this, but I'm not sure exactly what it means.
Shadowing means you listen to native English speakers and immediately repeat what they say, almost at the same time, like you're their shadow.
So it's like speaking along with them?
Exactly. You play a podcast, a video, or an audiobook, and you speak along with it. You don't pause, you don't translate, you just repeat what you hear immediately.
That sounds challenging.
It is at first, but this is exactly what trains your brain to stop translating. Because when you're shadowing, you don't have time to translate. You're forced to just speak English directly.
Oh, I see. So it's building that automatic response you talked about earlier.
Exactly. When I was learning my second language, I did shadowing practice every single day for 15 minutes. At first, I could barely keep up, but after 2 weeks, I noticed something amazing.
What did you notice?
I noticed that in normal conversations, words started coming out of my mouth automatically. I wasn't thinking about grammar rules or translating. The language just flowed.
Wow, so shadowing actually rewires your brain?
In a way, yes. It trains your brain to respond in English without that translation step. It's like muscle memory for your language skills.
So how should our listeners practice shadowing?
Start simple. Choose English content that's slightly easier than your current level, maybe this podcast. Play a section and try to speak along with us. Don't worry about being perfect, just try to match the rhythm and flow.
And I guess you should do this every day?
Consistency is key. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day will make a huge difference. The important thing is to make it a daily habit.
I love these techniques. What's the third one?
The third technique is something that might surprise people. It's called talking to yourself in English.
Talking to yourself? That sounds a little crazy.
I know, it sounds funny, but this is actually one of the most effective ways to stop translating. And you know what? Native speakers do this too.
Really? Native speakers talk to themselves?
Absolutely. We all have an inner voice. The difference is, your inner voice is probably speaking your native language. But if you want to think in English, you need to practice having that inner voice speak English.
Oh, that makes sense. So instead of thinking, I need to go to the store in my language, I should practice thinking it in English?
Exactly. And here's how to make this easy. Start with simple daily narration. When you're doing everyday activities, describe them in English in your mind or out loud if you're alone.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say you're making coffee in the morning. You can say to yourself, I'm filling the kettle with water. Now I'm turning it on. I'm getting a cup from the cupboard. I'm putting coffee in the cup.
So you're just describing your actions as you do them.
Exactly. And you know what's beautiful about this? You're not translating because you're speaking in real time about what's happening right now. Your brain has to access English directly.
That's brilliant. And I guess the more you do this, the more automatic it becomes?
Precisely. At first, you might struggle to find words. That's okay. Use simple words. The goal is not to speak perfectly. The goal is to build that direct connection between thought and English.
I really want to try this. So our listeners can just narrate their day? Cooking, walking, getting dressed, anything?
Absolutely. And here's a bonus tip. When you're thinking about the future, practice in English too. Instead of thinking, what should I do today, in your language, practice thinking it in English.
So you're basically replacing your internal dialogue with English.
Wonderful. So listeners, you now have some useful vocabulary and 3 powerful techniques to stop translating and start thinking in English.
And remember, this is a journey, not a race. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories. Every day you practice, you're getting closer to thinking in English naturally.
Absolutely. And here's my challenge for you. Try one of these techniques today. Just one. Maybe do 10 minutes of shadowing or narrate your evening routine in English.
And please tell us in the comments which technique you're going to try. We love reading your comments and hearing about your progress.
Yes, write something like, I'm going to practice shadowing with this podcast, or I'm going to talk to myself in English while cooking. We want to hear from you.
And if this episode helped you, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to English is Very Easy. We create new lessons every week to help you improve.
Absolutely, and share this with a friend who's learning English too. Let's help as many people as possible speak English confidently without translating.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We're so proud of you for working on your English. Keep going, keep practicing, and remember,
English is very easy when you have the right techniques.
see you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone. Happy learning.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.